It is the 41st millennium. Mankind battles for survival across the universe, besieged on all fronts by the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. One faction of Space Marines stands amidst the chaos, the mightiest of the Emperor's warriors, and a beacon of light in the darkness. This legion, the 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes, the Blood Angels.
Hello, can you guys hear me okay? How is everybody? It's been a little while since we did painting. Hello. So needless to say, I probably haven't painted as much this holiday as I probably should have, but I've spent a lot of time with the family, so that's been nice. Good morning everybody. I know it's a random time, the wife and kids are out. I thought I'd take advantage of the free time, right? Just so you know, normal content's probably going to resume this week. I think we got a battle report on Wednesday. We have a tactics video coming out Friday. And then the Army List show will resume a week today, next Sunday night. Return of the Army List show. Hopefully there's a balanced data slate coming in January. So we'll be able to dive into that. Good morning, Marius. I saw your tweet yesterday of all your new Primaris stuff you got for Christmas or for the new year. I hope it's kind to you. I hope you're looking forward to painting it. Next up is Michael Stewart. Hello from New Zealand. Michael Stewart. That is a funny name because that is the name of both my father and my son, Michael Stewart. My son actually, he's 2, Michael, and last night he said John for the first time. And it was so funny just because he was just like, John! He's never said my name before. So, yeah, well, hello and welcome to New Zealand. We normally don't sync our times, I guess. Normally we're not live in like a reasonable time for New Zealand because you guys are like 10 hours ahead of us, I believe. So it's 10 a.m. here. I think it's like 10 or 11 hours ahead of us, you guys are. So it's probably like 8 p.m. or something in New Zealand. But I got family in Australia and New Zealand, but I've never visited. One day. Good morning anyway, Michael. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching on the other side of the world. So I've got a mission today to get these heavy intercessors probably to a point where I feel like I can comfortably start putting the washes on them. I almost have the base colours down on every single part of them, I feel like. I wanted to maybe paint a couple of armour joints a little bit better because and then that'll be 2 coats, and then basically either in this stream or the next stream we'll start putting some washes on these guys. So I'd said at the start of the holiday I was going to finish these guys on the holiday. I've spent way more time with the family than I did in my previous holidays. I guess I've had a really good recharge and a really big break from... I still made some content, right, but not too much. But I think in the last holiday I had last year, I didn't recharge properly. Like I still put out a ton of YouTube videos, and then I felt burnt out. So hopefully this has been a really good recharge for me. So yeah, I know there's not been too much content this last week, but it's an exciting year ahead, isn't it? Okay, was there anywhere else that needed bronze? Funny or legendary name? Haha, my grandfather's name was John. Maybe we are distant, twice removed, third cousins. I don't know what it could be, Michael. You know what it's like. A lot of people from Scotland actually emigrated to New Zealand or Canada, it seemed like. Like a lot of people I talked to, their families are now either in, or some of their family, not all of their family obviously, some of their family are either in New Zealand or Canada. And I have relatives in Perth. My uncle lives in Perth, Australia, not Perth, because there's actually a town in Scotland called Perth as well. My uncle lives in Perth, Australia. I actually had a trip booked to go see him for the first time in like 20 years, and then had to cancel it because it was due. It was one of those trips that was booked basically as COVID was kicking off, and everything went to dog shit, I guess. Almarto, good morning. Trying Armageddon Dunes on bases from your guide from the hobby stream. Oh, cool. Not sure how high I should put it on the storm speeder holder. I didn't really put it on... You mean the plastic bit that sticks up into the vehicle? If so, I didn't really put it on that part of the base. I was gonna say, do I have a flying base I can show you real quick? I know this isn't like a big flight stand, but like, there's one that I did where I don't know, it kind of trickles onto the plastic bit, and then you can actually see that plastic bit got hit with a bit of the varnish because I varnished everything. So that's why it went cloudy down there, but I don't know, I guess I think that's fine. Maybe I care less than I should on those things. Marius has a brother that lives in Perth. Oh, apparently everybody lives in Perth. Yeah, we were gonna go during, like, right before COVID kicked off, and then we had kids, like, basically we had our kids during COVID. Someone looked at me and was like, we know what you were doing during COVID. And I was like, well, you were stuck in the house all the time. There's not much else you could do, right? We're going to do a black Aquila with, oh jeez, just made a giant mistake there. Yeah, so last time I was doing these guys, I was trying to figure out what color the Aquillas are going to be. So they're going to be black. But I'm going to probably do like a line of gold across the top, and I'm probably going to do the skull in gold as well. I'll probably dry brush these guys, Aquillas, with some sort of white paint, I think. Or maybe a grey actually. I think I usually dry brush black Aquillas with like a grey. Someone in chat, tell me, what paint do you use to dry brush a black Aquila to get it to pop a little bit? Or hold on a minute, I'm confusing myself. Are these even Aquillas, these wings on the front? Morning, Miles! We're gonna have to get a game soon this year, Miles. I know I cancelled on you last year, I'm sorry about that. It'll be good to get a game going. I think I'm playing Call It on Wednesday, but you let me know whenever you're free after this Wednesday, and we'll get a game going. My wife was actually asking me, she was like, John, do you want to go and play Warhammer like over the holiday? And I was like, no, but for a weird reason, in that like we play Warhammer on stream in the building that I do my day job in. And I was like, I just don't want to go to my office for 2 weeks. She's like, but you'd be going to play Warhammer. And I was like, I know I'd be going to do something different, but it's like I just want to take a break from going to the office. So yeah, Wednesday night we're gonna get back into it though. Quite excited to play Colin because I think last time he beat me by like 1 point, right? And the last few games we've had are like super close. So it'd be good to try and turn the screw there and get the win. Morning, Eternal Crusader, hello! Trud, Jucker. Why did I call you backwards? Judd Trucker. Trucker, I think it's because your name's round the wrong way. Trucker Judd? I would call it Judd Trucker, but okay. Morning, Trucker. How you doing? Colin's new list is pretty tough. Is it Demons or is it Death Guard? What's he playing? He think he beat Andrew, right? And then I think he beat Gav as well? Because he was like, oh, I beat Gav. I was like, you did? Or I thought he was joking with me. I still have never beaten Gav. Death Guard? Okay. Yeah, but my wife was like, I'm taking the kids to a birthday party, do you want to come? I was like, no. I've had my fill of soft plays and birthday parties this holiday, I'll tell you that for sure. Been so long since I did the black wings that I have honestly forgotten what colour I normally dry brush them with. If in doubt, I'll just use something like Dawnstone. That always seems to work well for me. It's a very neutral grey, isn't it? Trucker's up late painting Death Company. Look at that. I find it difficult to paint when it was late, but do you know what? I don't know if you guys were here the other day when I was telling you, I was speaking about I had a vitamin deficiency for, well, I don't know how long I've had it, but it was affecting my eyesight. I thought my eyes were just getting shit. Like, I thought I was just, like, I'm getting old and I got new glasses and I thought that my eyes were getting shit, but, like, since I've had these, like, vitamin tablets to fix the vitamin deficiency, my eyesight has got, like, way better. So I was like, maybe I can stay up late and paint, because I stopped painting super late at night because my eyes just started going, like, blurry and I couldn't focus, and I was just like, I'm old. My eyes are going. Can't stay up late and paint models the way I used to. But apparently my eyes are, I don't know if they're fixed, but I mean, they're doing much better. Oh, let me put the chat on the screen. Here we go. We're actually also an affiliate on Twitch now, which is kind of nice. For the first time. So if you like to watch on Twitch or anything like that, the option's there now. We're an affiliate over there on Twitch. I think I'm going to have to give these 2 coats, or I'm putting on this black a little bit too thin. Dawnstone is my go-to for black highlights. Yeah, it's very... Dawnstone's like my one go-to paint for everything, honestly, man. Every time I need to do down like a gold or a silver or a bronze or anything like that, I always just paint an undercoat of Dawnstone. Don't know if that's just the way I've always done it. What was Dawnstone in the old paint range? Was there even a Dawnstone in the old paint range? If they ever announce that they're stopping making Dawnstone paint, I'm going to have to buy like 20 bottles of it. So did anyone go out and buy the Old World stuff? I had a very quick look at it yesterday. I was very disappointed that Element Games didn't get stock for it again. Games Workshop have been doing what feels like a bad job for making sure the resellers get stock recently. Because I like buying from resellers, man. I'm cheap. If I can save £20–30 on a box of Warhammer, I will 100% save £20–30 every single time. The only time I'll buy from Games Workshop is if I go to the store. Because normally, like, going to the store is an experience. The guys in the store are usually pretty cool. You get a chat to them, you know. They're always helpful. They always... There's something wholesome. Wholesome? Would that be the right word? For going to a Games Workshop store? So, like, if I go to a store, I'll buy something from the store, and I know I'll pay an extra 10. Like, if I'm buying a tank from a store, I know I'm paying an extra $10, but I feel like I'm paying for the experience of being in the store and, you know, maybe making a friend and speaking to the guys about the hobby. Like, that's different. I mean, if I'm buying it online, though, and I don't have any human interaction or anything like that, I will 100% every single time use a reseller to save myself $20. I mean, I always use the resellers before the cost of living crisis. I don't know what it is for other countries, but the UK is in a giant cost of living crisis. Cost Costs of everything have been spiraling insanely high. Like, I swear our weekly shopping bill went up like £30, which is like 30 or 40% of our weekly shopping. Like, food just got 40% more expensive in the last 18 months sort of deal or something. And you need food every week, right? Eternal Crusader's waiting for High Elves. Trucker still has his old Wood Elves. I have a giant box of Age of Sigmar models, like an absolute giant box of it that I've done nothing with. Maybe I should sell them and get the old world, because I feel like I'm maybe more excited about the old world than I am Age of Sigmar. I mean, if I was excited about Age of Sigmar, I would have built the models, because I've had them sitting around for like... I don't know, I've had them sitting around for like 4 or 5 years at this point. What projects did people get completed over the holidays? Did you guys do better than me? I played the first Total War game, actually. I don't know if I own more of them. I definitely played the first one, like Total War Warhammer. The first one where it was like Empire and Chaos. And like, I think after so many turns or something, is it Archon? I forget the name of him. I'm not super huge on my old world fantasy. Archon the Everchosen comes down from the north after so many turns and just starts killing everything. You kind of have to deal with it, or I guess you lose the game. Comes down from like the Chaos Wastes, right? I enjoyed that first Total War game. I played another Total War game like many years ago. I don't know which one it was. Like, I did play another one years before that. And yeah, I really enjoyed Total War 1. Cost of living in New Zealand is stupidly high as well. Like, is it stupidly high now, or it's just got stupidly high over like the last 18 months? Almarto started a Stormspeeder. Which variation did you go, or did you magnetize it, Almarto? Pandaman Pete, good morning. You built a Repulsor Executioner, lots of fiddly bits. Man, I like that Executioner though. I've been playing it in a few games. I think it's good, man. I love the main cannon, and I love the fact that if you don't move, it's like hitting on twos with that main cannon. That main cannon is like the best gun in the game for Space Marines, right? D6 plus 4 damage. Every time I roll... Every time I've got a weapon that does d6 plus 1, I roll like a 1. Every time I've got that d6 plus 4, I roll like a 4, and I'm like, or a 4 or 5, I think. Every time I was shooting it, I was like, 9 damage, 9 damage. I was like, morning Highland, how you doing? This is my last hobby stream before normal service resumes on the channel. I am back to work tomorrow, so that will mean back to creating tactics videos. I already had a couple of tactics videos planned out that I was actually going to film in December. I just ran out of time, so I'll get started on those probably tomorrow evening after work, and yeah, battle report Wednesday night. Gonna take on Colin's Death Guard, I think. Apparently he's been beating everybody including Gav, so that should be a fun one. Did anyone get anything super great for Christmas then? Was anyone, I hope you guys all had a good holiday though. And I hope you guys all had a sore head on the first, because honestly, I had such a sore head. I went on the treadmill first thing in the morning, and when I went on the treadmill, I felt fine. I was like, oh wow, I drank so much last night, and I actually don't think I drank that much on stream. I maybe had like 5 beers, maybe like that whiskey, the whiskey cocktail, and then a few shots of coffee liqueur, and maybe I'd like one other drink or something. So I probably only had like 10 drinks. It was in quite a small period of time. But when I went on the treadmill first thing in the morning, I was like counting my lucky stars. I was like, no hangover, this feels great. Because I was kind of going on the treadmill to like sweat out the alcohol and feel better. But then like an hour after I finished the treadmill, I just got hit by such a bad headache, and I came to the conclusion that when I woke up, I was still drunk and I hadn't hit the hangover yet. So basically, like, when I went on the treadmill, I was still a little bit drunk and I just felt fine. And then I guess the treadmill kick-started my metabolism, and then my hangover kicked in, and then like I had such a bad headache. Someone was saying that I should plunge my face into a bowl of iced water. Iced water. Apparently that is the best way to remove a hangover, is put your face in a bowl of iced water and hold it there for as long as you can handle. I did not do that. I took paracetamol and felt sorry for myself. Pandaman got some Death Company for Christmas. Gonna bring him in to clone the Infernal Pistols with blue stuff. Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, you definitely... I hope... You know how they've done that new Dark Angel sprue, upgrade sprue? I hope when they do a Blood Angels one, they put a bunch of Infernal Pistols on that upgrade sprue. That's what we need, right? Because Infernal Pistols, like every few days it feels like someone's like, what's the best kit to get Infernal Pistols? I'm like, there isn't really one. There isn't a lot of great ways to get Infernal Pistols. Short of buying shed loads of Death Company and stuff. Is there caffeine in the coffee liqueur? Yes, there is, because it's just like slow brewed coffee with rum and I actually don't know how they put alcohol in coffee liqueur. I mean, there was rum in it, but they must, like, how do they add alcohol to coffee liqueur? I don't know that. That's a good question. But yes, there's definitely caffeine in it, because I've been feeling tired a couple of nights, right? Because our kids wake us up. Like we go on, because we're on holiday. Me and my wife have been watching some movies, sometimes quite late, you know, so we maybe finish a movie at 1 a.m. and then the kids want up at like 6 a.m. And so rather than drinking a coffee in the evening, because it's the holidays, I've been drinking coffee liqueur. I mean, it's 11 a.m. in the morning, it's the last day of my holiday. I could go a coffee liqueur right now, Highly Phoenix. But yes, there's most definitely caffeine in it, because it's been perking me up in the evenings. Coffee liqueur might be one of my favourite alcoholic drinks, just because it's so easy to drink. It's just like drinking coffee, and I drink coffee every day. It's like it's dangerous for me. The best way to avoid hangovers is drink 3 large glasses of water before bed. Yeah, I one time went out with a friend who was from Denmark, and basically every single time he bought a round of drinks, he would buy a pint of water as well. And the first time he did it, I was like, why are we getting a pint of water with every beer? And he was like, or every whiskey. He was like, maybe it wasn't a pint, maybe it was just a glass of water, like a highball glass or something. And I was like, why are we getting a water with every drink? And he's like, just trust me, just drink the water every time. And like, we drank the whole night, but because we had so many glasses of water all the way through the evening, we felt absolutely fine the next day. Because you're right, a big part of it is dehydration. So sometimes when I'm out, I do remember to get a glass of water or two. Keep me going. A bowl of Iron Brew, yeah. I was working on the night of the 31st. It was a school night for me. That sucks. Michael has 1.5 units of Seraphim to build, and then his holiday project will be complete. Good job. I feel like I don't have enough time with the kids in Christmas to, like, a lot of people talked about like a holiday project. Mine, Once my kids are a little bit older, maybe we'll get back to having a holiday project. They just need a lot of supervision at the moment. Like, you can't really leave the kids in another room and go do hobby in another room without someone watching them, right? I was gonna say, my mission for today, though, is to get these guys to a level where I feel like they're ready to have all their washes put on them. Because these guys have been close for a little while now. Good morning, Sean. How are you doing? Is there eBay is pretty dry at the moment for Infernal Pistols and Power Fists. I bet because with the changes that they made, where like all the Thunder Hammers and stuff were rubbish, or I kind of think Thunder Hammers are rubbish now. They should have kept 3 damage. I mean, they already suffer from bad weapon skill. They already suffer from low AP. I really think Thunder Hammers should have kept the ability to do 3 damage. But yeah, I would guess with Thunder Hammers being really poor, like I would just say Thunder Hammers are poor weapon choice now. Like, I never run them anymore. I don't think they're a good choice at all. So yeah, they've kind of forced everybody to try and what do you say? Like, change all their weapon loadouts on everything. Like, if you don't have Infernal Pistols and Power Fists on your Death Company, which is really frustrating actually, because like, for me personally, I had a lot of Death Company made with chain swords and bolt pistols. Well, I actually still had mine made with chain swords and bolt guns, because I think it was 8th edition you were allowed to do chain swords and bolt guns. You didn't have to do bolt pistols, right? I never converted the guys that had bolters to have bolt pistols, because I was like, if someone asks in a game, I'll just be like, they're bolt pistols. Yes, they look like bolters, but they're bolt pistols. At some point it gets a little bit silly with every single new edition or every single balanced data slate, the best weapon options for a unit gets changed. Like, at some point that, you know, you become numb to that. I think I'm pretty numb to it now, honestly, because I've had it changed on me so many times. That's how I feel anyway. Happy New Year to you, Sean. Nice to see you. If you guys get 2 seconds in this stream, if you could hit the like button, that would be super appreciated. Likes do actually really help me out. When you come to your YouTube homepage and you see my videos on the front page, that's because other people liked them, and that is a metric YouTube decides on whether or not to show my content to people. So if you can take the 2 seconds to hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. What are the stats for a Deathwatch Heavy Thunderhammer currently? I actually don't know. Does anyone play Deathwatch? What was the stats for the old Deathwatch Thunderhammer though? Like, it was called a Heavy Thunderhammer. I'm out of the loop on the Deathwatch. Do I have the Deathwatch Codex? No. I think I only bought 4 codexes last edition. I bought Black Templars, Blood Angels, Space Marines, and Imperial Knights. I don't buy all the codexes. I kind of hate the fact that if you don't buy all the codexes, you don't get all the rules. But one, that's a lot of money. Like 4 codexes, that's 120 bucks. Well, in the UK, that's 120 bucks. I don't know. It's probably more if you're in some of the countries that aren't UK, because UK do get it a little bit cheaper. And I suppose, yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of money for all the codexes. They used to be damage 4. Wow. It was such an over nerf that it's hard not to feel that these things are to make people buy kits. They do have the habit of over nerfing things though, right? Like, that is a thing that they do. They'll bring in models like Desolation Marines, I think, are a good example of that.
Happy New Year, Ditling. Haven't seen you in a while, hope you're well. You're currently planning your army for an ITT next month. Will be my only 40k until July as I'm training for the APS World Team Championships. Well, good luck on both counts, dude. What does training involve? Like a lot of practice games or what? Games Workshop have a different philosophy when you think about Primaris Marines to Highland Phoenix, because they think about them as you're trying to design Primaris as a unit that can do one role. They don't want, it seems like they don't want Space Marines to be able to accomplish multiple roles. And like that's a bigger like balance type decision that they've made there. Meta chasing as a Space Marine player is hard. I think as a Space Marine player, you honestly maybe have to just find what works for you and like double down on it. Like if you've got some of the best units, get them in your list. But you would have to do an awful lot of painting, I think, to be able to meta chase as a Marine. But I mean, you could just go battle ready and not really care about how your models look. That's always an option, right? Like, I know I sort of talk about my units being painted battle ready, but like, it's maybe battle ready plus a little bit. Like, I don't rush units out. Where the frick is my grey paint? How have I lost it? Oh, here it is. Nico says that, oh sorry, Nicholas says that he dislikes that some options are just straight worse. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, the new fixed points cost stuff to me, Nicholas. It's quite frustrating as well, because as someone, like for myself, for many years I prided my army on being WYSIWYG, you know, like what you saw on the table is exactly what you get. All my units are the right units. All my guys have the right weapon options, and now it's just in 10th edition, because this wasn't really a problem for me in 9th edition. In 10th edition, it feels like it's just gone one step too far, where every unit I've got has the wrong weapon options. And I'm like, I'm not... Like, if I'm making a new unit, I'll endeavour to have the best weapon option on it, but then at what point does it get changed again, and then they're not the best weapon options? It just seems like it's moving too fast for me. And then, yeah, especially with losing all the legend stuff as well, it was like very difficult to deal with. So yeah, in my games, I'm running one squad of Death Company with Infernal Pistols and Swords, and one squad of Death Company with Thunderhammers. But the second I line up at the table, I just tell my opponent all the Death Company are Infernal Pistols and Power Fists, because that's what's good right now, or that's what's the best, right? But how long will that stay the best is the million-dollar question. Will it still be the best at the end of the edition? Will things change again? Who knows, right? Go for it, Painting. Good morning. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good new year.
I don't know if I would say Blood Angels have lost their flavour in 10th edition. What I would say is our index rules are not great. I think that would be a better, fair way of defining the Blood Angels. I think we still have some very unique rules and roles. Like, I think the Death Company are still super awesome. You can still do a ton of work with them. I'm running 2 Death Companies on my list. I think Librarian Dreadnought is hands down one of the best units in the game. But I do think that Toughness 4 Marines are not great anymore. Like, in terms of survivability. I mean, I guess people don't run any Sanguinary Guard typically competitively at the moment. So that sort of tells you where Toughness 4 Sanguinary Guard units sit. Kind of sit at the bottom of a pile, I guess. In my tournament list that I went to this year, Gitley, where I was literally 1 dice roll from finishing 3rd in a GT. I guess you probably missed that, but I did make a video on it. I ran 18 Gravis Marines, and people really struggled against the Gravis Marines, actually, in that, like, you know, like regular Marines, people would just kill them off objectives very, very quickly, whereas Gravis Marines, toughness 6. 3 wounds a mono. It's like 2 good break points. Ahsoka just played his first game of 10th edition. Great, dude. How'd you get on? Why do Primaris Marines carry their pistols on the wrong hip? I was going to say, looking at these guys here, some of them have it on their left, some of them are on their right. Oh no, they're all left. Maybe... Well... Oh no, this one's right. I don't know. Why do Gravit? Is this a question, or is this just a notice, Michael? Why do Primaris Marines carry the pistol on the... It could also just be what they showed in their assembly guides. You don't have to follow their assembly guides, right? Sanguinary Guard and Death Company should be a 0 to 1 choice. Take one, but both should be really good. I mean, that would be cool. I don't know if they'll ever do that, Highland, but it seems like the chat and the people that watch this channel have so many good ideas for trying to make Blood Angels great again. I think at some point we need somebody from the channel to just become a designer at Games Workshop and help us out with more consistent rules. Dante needs a 3 damage weapon. Mephisto needs to join Blade Guard. I think when we get our codex, whenever that may be, like end of 2024 is the thing that I've heard, rumors. I think Mephisto might get to join another squad or 2. I mean, I really hope he does. I'd be really disappointed if he doesn't. As someone that uses pistols regularly, it makes no sense to have them on the left hip if you're right-handed. Okay, well, I've never used a gun in my life, so I'll take your word for it. Heavy intercessors were gross my last game, super tough. Yeah, I mean, I started building my second squad of heavy intercessors. I don't run infiltrators anymore. I used to swear by infiltrators. I've not been running them, but I've kind of fallen in love with heavy intercessors, honestly. They were definitely my MVP in some of the games in the tournament that I went to. Good morning, Cambo. How are you doing, buddy? So yeah, I started building my second squad. I mean, as I refine my list for the next tournament I'm going to, there definitely could be call for a second squad of heavy intercessors. God, my whole year is going to be spent painting heavy intercessors. Space Marines are double-handed. Yeah, maybe they are. I mean, you would think with the training they go through. How many years of training does a Space Marine go through to learn combat? Must be a good few years, right? Is there an actual lower accurate number, like Space Marines train for X amount of years? Is that a thing? Likely hundreds. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to try and paint the seam of this guy's leg, but these wires and shit, and also just sometimes even getting lighting in to see underneath here is a bit of a pain in the ass. This is what I was saying when someone was asking about, like, hey, do you recommend using a magnifying glass for painting? And I was like, I do and I don't, because I'm pretty sure with the naked eye and with the way the light is, because I've got a light right above me here, and I've got a light right here as well, and I've got a light over here, and then I've got the room light, and then the window's open. So there's like 5 sources of light in this room, and I'm pretty sure that with the naked eye I'm not going to be able to see into that leg joint. I can see it with my magnifying glass, so I'm going to try and fix it. This is why I'm fucking slow at painting. Oh, let's get the F-bombs out there as well. Most of my streams get demonetized for me swearing. It's all good. Cool. Let me put on some more music. How long do you stay as a scout? It's a good question. I'm surprised no one knows. Usually in the chat, usually the folk in chat know all the lore stuff. Correct me all the time. Is there an Amazon link to the magnifying glass with the light? I don't know if I have a specific link to it, but Beverage Sean, hello. I'm sure I could find it. Once I get done painting, Highland, if you want to, I can find basically the identical one on Amazon. I'm sure I can find it. I think it was like $25. A long bristle 5-0 rigger helps with the hard to reach areas. Yeah, I mean, as much as it's hard to reach, it's also hard to see, right? And I always do wonder, like, if you're painting detail that no one's going to see, then essentially that's just a waste of your time. Man, that's messy in there. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Can't really see, or can't really get the angle. You know it's bad when you're trying to close one eye to see, because then you've got no perspective, basically. There we go. I'll just have to clean that up afterwards. I guess this is why some people do sub-assemblies, huh? Beverage Sean just purchased first set. He went with Black Templars. They look cool. Yeah, Black Templars are very similar, I suppose, in ways to Blood Angels. They were the only codex that I bought, the only Space Marine chapter codex I bought last edition that wasn't the Blood Angels codex. I played them on stream a couple of times as well. What box did you end up getting, dude? Oh, the combat patrol. What is in the combat patrol for Black Templars? I actually don't know. You got your magnifying glass from Aldi? Hey, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, mine's definitely not a pro magnifying glass. It was cheap and cheerful, which is usually what Amazon sell, right? From a homebrew Blood Angels chapter, they don't have scouts in the traditional sense. New Marines go straight into intercessors, and vets form the recon squad for the chapter. That sounds cool. But yeah, the question is how many... The question no one seems to know is how many years of training a Space Marine has. How many years are they a scout? How many years do they train before they become a scout? How much training do they get, right? Because surely the gene seed only goes so far, right? Like, you don't just get a gene seed put in you and then you're like, aha. And, you know, it's not like the Matrix where he's like, what was it? I was like, I know Kung Fu. He's like, show me. I love that first Matrix movie. An Impulsor, a Primaris Crusade squad, 5-man Intercessor squad, a Marshal. The Crusade squad has 1 Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and 5 Neonites. Okay. Did anyone... Marius was linking it on his Twitter, actually. He was talking that... so are people... Is anyone buying the new magazine? Because, I mean, the new magazine's kind of crazy. You get 9 combat patrols. 9 combat patrols. Well, I think that's cool. I also think if I buy that, I would end up with 8 unpainted combat patrols. I do think it's cool. I was thinking about this the other day because obviously this is like a holiday from my day job and I spent a lot of time with family. I haven't made as much content for Warhammer as or haven't made as much content for the channel as I would normally be making, right? Because like I've spent tons more time with my kids this year than I did last year. We've done tons of things, like it's generally been a pretty good holiday for me, but like at the time I was thinking to myself, like, how nice would it be one day if I didn't have to do my day job and I could just work on Warhammer content all the time. That's the dream, man. I think I could get so much done. It'd be so cool. But then I guess there would be pressure that I don't have right now. You know, if a video doesn't perform well on the channel, I guess it's not the end of the world. I still got my day job. I don't have to worry about it all that much, right? Those magazines aren't available in New Zealand. Man, you guys in New Zealand get it rough. Yeah, it's a good question, because like when they always talk about it, they talk about Dante being like the oldest living space marine. He's like 2,000 years old, right? But he didn't become Dante until he was like a young adult, I guess. I read that Dante book. Did they ever say why he changed? Dante was the name given to him when he became a space. When he became like they give them the name, don't they? I don't specifically remember that part of the book. If that was in the book, I missed. I don't remember. I need to read it again. I know I need to read it again. It's been a good few years. The new magazine is coming with 9 different combat patrols. That's the rumour anyway. I posted a picture of it in Discord maybe a few weeks ago. Like it's... I think if you probably search Warhammer Imperial magazine, you'll probably find it. But yeah, it's coming with 9 combat patrols. Obviously, you've got to buy each issue at like $5 or $10 an issue. I think it might be as much as like $8.99 an issue, but probably it's probably cheaper than going out and buying 9 combat patrols. Dante was in puberty when he left. Yeah, I remember him being young when he was doing the journey through, was it like the salt wastes or something? I forget exactly what the wastes on Baal are called. It was something like that, the salt wastes or something. I did really enjoy the Dante book though. It was one of my favourites. I was really kind of hoping we were going to get a book about him actually crossing the Rubicon as well, right? Because the last thing we heard was like, we got the whole story about Mephiston crossing the Rubicon in Darkness in the Blood, but Dante had wanted to do it. He'd actually wanted to do it before Mephiston, but he was kind of pressured not to. And I was like, oh cool, that'll definitely be a story we'll get in the near future. We haven't had it yet, so I guess we can keep our fingers crossed that we get that story sooner rather than later, maybe. Oh, big spoilers coming out from Sean. I mean, I guess if you haven't read the Dante book by now, you should have read it. A shameless plug is that anybody that watches the channel, do you know what, anybody anywhere can get a free trial of a free audiobook from Audible. If you cancel it before you get billed at the end of the first month, you don't pay anything. So you just get a free book for nothing. You can actually take an Audible trial every 12 months if you didn't know this. So basically every 12 months on the same account, you can take another Audible trial. And there's a link in the video description to a couple, I think the link in the video description is to a couple of Blood Angels books. If you use that link, if you haven't had a trial for a year, you can get another free book, any book you want. And if you use the link, I guess like if you take a free trial, like the channel, it'll support the channel, like the channel will get a couple of bucks or something. So yeah, every year you can pretty much get a free Audible trial. I think it just resets on a yearly thing because they just always really want people to subscribe to Audible. It's pretty cool. I think Ausfix did a breakdown of the new magazine. It's over 40% discount and you get the extra super duper premium. Yeah, I mean those magazines, if you're willing to subscribe to those magazines, you can get some great units and some great discounts. Like it's a proven thing. You just probably end up with some models that you don't overly care about, I guess. But I mean, if you're willing to have a few extra models, you can always trade them, you can always sell them on eBay. I'm sure they'll sell on eBay. Like Warhammer stuff sells on eBay all the time. Anytime I've bought Warhammer stuff on, like, I've sold and bought Warhammer stuff on eBay, genuinely always sells. It's not like you can be stuck with it. So you could make 40% of your money, I guess, as well. Or, I mean, eBay will take you a fee, but you could make some money as well if there's a combat controller or something you didn't want. I'm not going to talk about software to remove DRM. Sorry, Robert. If we keep stuff on the channel, can't really promote anything that does piracy, so please don't mention that again. Sorry. Just, yeah. But yeah, the offer stands. There's literally a free book. All you need to do is use the link in the video description, go to Audible, claim your free book. Simple as that. You can do it once every 12 months. So I mean, over a course of a few years, you could literally collect all the Blood Angels books for free. And that's legit. And just put some clean water in. I'm at the stage where every time I look at these guys, there's some little detail somewhere that I didn't paint, and I'm like, God damn it. Or some little mistake somewhere, but it's fine. We're getting on pretty well. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Podger, they are going to be making some films or some stories or something, right? For Warhammer Plus? Or sorry, not for Warhammer Plus, for this new Amazon Warhammer TV deal or whatever it is. I really hope that they figure that out well. Like, I feel like the first one that they make has to be really good. Because it'll just grow the popularity of 40k, I guess, and it'll also give I'm sure we all want to see good Warhammer stories being told. Like, I recently I've been watching the Monsterverse thing on Apple TV. I think it's called like Monarch Legacy of Monsters. And it's kind of amazing. Like, the special effects and stuff in shows these days are they're just nuts, right? I recommend Legacy of Monsters, actually. If you've got Apple TV and you've not watched it, it's really good. If you've got a PlayStation 5, you can get a 6 months free trial to Apple TV. If you make a second, here's a legit way. If you make a second account on your PlayStation 5 with a new email address, you can have another 6 months. Don't ask me why, but that's the way it works. Apple TV's been out like 3 years at this point, and I think I'm at about 20 months free. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the guys at Apple are doing, but if they keep giving away free months, I'll keep taking them. I'm going to pin wash the entire models, yes. Not quite there. I like to get all my base colours done. I'm very close to having the base colours done on these guys. Once the base colours are done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash all the armour joints with Nuln Oil, and then I'm going to pin wash the entire red with Agrax Earthshade, and that's probably going to take like an hour per model, maybe slightly longer, because I'm slow as crap at painting, Robert. And then once I've done that, I'm then going to try and tidy all that up, because I'm sure the wash will run into a few places that I don't want it to run to. So I'll do that, and then, and only then, I feel like these guys will be getting to a point where they're like almost complete. So I'm trying to make a really watery green here, to just put a tiny little drop of it into the eye socket over the top of the lighter green I painted before, just to blend it in a little bit. Oh, that's too much. A little bit more water there. Highland Fair says, I want the second Worm of Armageddon to be the 40k films, but I acknowledge the timeline is unfortunately moved on in lore. Yeah, that's a good question. You think they'll try and do something like modern with their first show, or you think they'll try and like set the scene? Because I think both have challenges, right? Like when they did that Warcraft movie, like for the video game, this game, I got it right here actually, Warcraft 2 Battle.net Edition. When they did the Warcraft movie, they really struggled with that. Like, they tried to set the scene in their first movie, or the only movie they made, and they had far too much to cram in, and what it ended up on being was the movie was kind of a disaster. For anyone that didn't watch Warcraft, they didn't know Warcraft, I guess they didn't know what the crap was going on. So that'll be a big challenge for them, I guess. Like, are they going to try and set the scene? Because it's probably quite hard to set the scene of 40k, I imagine. Like, to cover everything, to cover the fact that Emperor's on the throne and all this sort of stuff. Like, there'll be too much. If they try and do that, it'll probably fail. Like, Hey Marius. Yeah, you missed not too much. Just chatting about how Blood Angels audiobooks, how to get free audiobook if you've not had one in a while. Someone was telling me to pin wash. I was saying I'm going to pin wash the whole models. I'm just trying to finish up the base colours, which I'm getting very close to being done with. Every time I look at these guys though, I see some imperfection with the base colours that I'm just trying to make sure that I have done. I've given them a good looking over, I guess. Baveridge said that he'd bought his first models ever, and it was the Dark, sorry, not the Dark Angels, the Black Templars Combat Patrol. So we got a new hobbyist today. Must be exciting getting your first models. I remember getting my first models. It was the 2nd edition box set was what I got. 20 Tactical Marines, was it, what was it, 40 Gretchen? And 20 Orcs or something like that. Feels like a lifetime ago, honestly. Guys, thank you so much for the support this year and last year, and I'm assuming the ongoing support as well. It's been, I feel very, I think I said this on my New Year's stream, I feel very blessed to have such an amazing community of folk that follow the channel and are always here for every stream, and, you know, I mean, I didn't, when I started it, I didn't think that I would have such a big following, but I also didn't, you know, like, that wasn't really the goal, but it's turned out and it's amazing, so thank you. I keep making mistakes! Ah, get off there, red paint. I keep this crappy brush around while I'm painting, so if I make mistakes like this, I can quickly put some water on the brush and absorb all the paint off the mistakes. It's a neat trick to have, but apparently I just make millions of mistakes. Whew. My first set was the Rogue Trader Beak Marines. I still have a few on the sprues. Wow, was that when they came with... They came with metal arms, right? Or I thought those Rogue Trader Marines were metal. I definitely had some metal ones with the beak helmets. Like the whole body. With arms or without arms? 40 identical Gretchen, yeah. That was fun to work through, right? It was 20 identical orcs as well. That's probably why I chose to be a Space Marine player, to be honest. Everybody says Eisenhorn, but look at the popular models. It's not Inquisition, it's Space Marines. If your first show isn't your Marines, you've missed the mark. You're probably right, Marius. Unless they try and humanize it a bit more, which would be why they would start with Inquisition. Robert is working on 20 heavy intercessors. Robert, you're making me look bad. I've been doing these 5 for like 2 months at this point. You're working on 20? I mean, there's something very satisfying about completing a big batch paint like that. You go, Robert. Kick ass. 20 heavy intercessors. I was gonna say, I don't think I've done a 20-man batch paint in a couple of years. 20 is brutal, actually. I've done a few 10s recently, but 20 is brutal. A lot of work in 20 guys. Especially if they're all the same. There's not that much flavour in the different heavy intercessors, is there? Like from model to model, they're pretty similar. I tell you, I really liked the Angels of Death mini-series thing that they had on Warhammer TV. I thought that was super cool. I like the art style of that as well, actually. The metal with plastic arms would be around 2nd edition. They had a set of plastic 20 Marines maybe, and they had a hunched over look. Huh. It's hard to remember what was in metal and what was in plastic back then, because I definitely had metal Death Company models with plastic arms. I remember that, because it was an absolute nightmare to get the plastic arms to stick to the metal models, because you had to use super glue, and I was very young, and super glue and being very young don't really go together. I mean, what ends up being together is your fingers end up glued together, but the models don't end up stuck together, do they? That's what happens when you're very young. Plus, I feel like super glue when we were kids was utter crap. Like, see the super glue you got now, like the Gorilla Glue and stuff. It sticks so quickly. It's so easy to use. I feel like when we were kids, the super glue was just terrible. Like, you would put it on, none of the model would be stuck together, but my god, your fingers would be stuck together, right? Maybe glue's evolved over the years, probably has, right? Yeah, no, I really enjoyed Angels of Death. There was a prequel season as well, I haven't watched that yet. I should. Oh, I remember the weird shaped missile launcher, yeah, with like the top, it was like the missile launcher had this weird point on it and it had like top loading magazine or something. Oh, I've got the chat overlaid twice on the screen here, my bad. Sorry. That chat overlay was from the New Year's Eve stream, which was awesome, by the way, guys. Thank you so much. That was the best stream the channel has ever had, the New Year's Eve stream this year. I wasn't sure about our New Year's stream, because on our New Year's stream we just sit and talk bollocks and drink a lot of alcohol, but I think it was a really fun stream. Like, I think the uniqueness of us just getting plastered is the name that we use in Scotland for getting very drunk. I think that makes our stream unique. Is there any other 40k stream? Because I was looking at some of the other, because a bunch of other people did a New Year's Eve stream, right? And I was looking around at some of the other ones. And I was like, is anyone else getting absolutely plastered? Like, is anyone else mission to drink your glasses empty every time a super chat comes in? Is anyone else doing that? Because I thought it made our stream a lot of fun, actually. Right, I think I got maybe like 10 more minutes. Just gonna say what needs to happen to these guys in 10 minutes. They are getting very, very close to being ready for like pin washing, I guess. I have a horrible feeling though that I'm going to have to spend one more stream getting them ready for pin washing. There's just too many little details that I'm still feel like I'm not quite there with. I'm not using anything too special, Sean. What I use is I typically undercoat with Mephiston Red, and then after Mephiston Red I'm doing 2 coats of Evil Sun Scarlet to get the red that I have right now. So I know this red right now is kind of, I would honestly say, like, where these models are, like where the red is, I kind of rate it as obnoxiously bright, like almost too bright. Probably too bright, actually. But when you wash the whole thing, which I'm going to do pretty much, I'm going to pin wash the whole thing with Agrax Earthshade, that'll give it a much more like brown, because Agrax Earthshade is like a dark brown wash, right? So I'll like bring the red down to a much lighter. Sorry, a much like so from here I pin wash this whole guy with Agrax Earthshade, and then yeah, well, they'll all get that, but they'll look much less bright. They'll still be a bit brighter than, like, if you look at any of the Games Workshop painted stuff at the moment for Blood Angels. It's much more muted, or much more dark. So these guys don't really have quite the same grim dark. They have this sort of, like, bright pop you're talking about. But, I mean, I started painting Blood Angels in 2nd edition, and in 2nd edition they were bright red. They didn't really do battle damage or grim dark in 2nd edition, did they? Everything was very bright.
Yeah, that's right. More scarlet, more crimson, more deep red. Mine are more like glam dark, says Crozier. Yeah, probably Crozier. Happy belated New Year. What was my competitive model this year? I think the model that I've had the most success with competitively probably this year has been the Vindicator tank. I think the Vindicator tanks have been kind of amazing in 10th edition for me. They've been the backbone to my army. I think they very, very rarely let me down. I'm running 2 of them. I plan to keep running 2 of them until they change them. I mean, I was running 2 of them when they had them at like 205 points a model, right? They put them down to like 190 or 195. And I'm still running 2 of them. If they weren't firstborn, I'd honestly be tempted to buy a 3rd one. But because they're firstborn and, you know, a whole swath of firstborn things got put legends this edition, I imagine that's going to happen again next edition. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. So because they're firstborn and firstborn are slowly but surely going away with the dinosaur, I'm not really willing to buy a 3rd one, but I have really enjoyed playing with Vindicators. My favourite Blood Angel specific unit probably be the Death Company Dread, not the Death Company Dread, sorry, the Librarian Dreadnought, with Death Company led by a chaplain very, very close behind, because I think Death Company, 5 of them led with a chaplain, with Infernal Pistol, with Power Fists, and with the baked rerolls that they get to both charges and they get rerolls to charges and they get rerolls to hit. I think it's a very strong combination. So I think my Blood Angels best unit this edition would be Death Company. I think for General Marines, I think I like the Vindicator Laser, not the Vindicator Laser tank, sorry, just the Vindicator tank. It used to be the Vindicator Laser Destroyer, that one has been made legends. Second edition style is coming back. Yeah, a lot of people like the old styles. I suppose it goes around in circles, doesn't it? I know I'm a big fan of the old style. I mean, it's what I got. That's the style that I got into the hobby with. So I mean that would have been my first paint jobs. That's what a lot of my stuff would match. So it makes sense. You picked up a Librarian on eBay painted for £12.50, man. You got a bargain. That's what I tell people. I always say, like, look on eBay before you go to buy your Warhammer stuff, because I think I got 2 squads of infiltrators on eBay for like less than the price. Like I think it was like, so 2 squads of infiltrators would have been like 35, and then I would have had to pay postage, so like it would have been like 38. I think I got them on eBay for like $12.99 including postage. Basically the only caveat was the guy had said I don't have the instructions. It literally took me 2 minutes to Google it and find the instructions. Like, the instructions generally for most of the kits can be found online pretty easily. So it was like, yeah, I'll spend 2 minutes of time Googling instructions if it's going to save like $30. Marcus says, I have such bad insomnia, almost ready to go to bed when Anaconda Commander starts his hobby days early. I was going to say, I don't know what to do for insomnia. I've been fortunate to never really have insomnia. Alright, I have literally 2 more minutes, guys. I'm going to have to do 1 more session on these guys, unfortunately, to get them ready to be painted. To get them ready to be washed. I'm close. I thought I was close at the start of this stream. Now I guess I'm just going to have to say I'm super close. I'm super close to these guys being ready to be to get the washes onto them. One more session, surely, and maybe even in the next session we'll be able to start washing. thought it was going to be this session. eBay's great though, man. Especially for like anything that goes on, like, you know, we were talking about that new magazine. Whenever that new magazine comes out, there'll be people on eBay that are like, well, I'm buying the magazine to save 40%, but I really don't need this one combat patrol. So you're probably going to be able to, like, of those 9 combat patrols that are in that magazine, I bet you're going to be able to pick up some of those combat patrols for like half price, because people just won't want them. They'll be like, I'm subscribed to the magazine, but I don't need 9 combat patrols. 9 does seem like an insane number. You know, like, if you're a new player getting into the hobby and you just get given 9 combat patrols, I think that would be kind of overwhelming, honestly. I would, like, even I know that I haven't painted so much these last couple of weeks, but like, when I'm on a groove, you know, like, I could go for a while where I'm painting every day. And even on a groove where I'm like painting every day for months straight, I still think 9 combat patrols might be like, holy crap, that's a little bit I do think that's a little bit overwhelming, even for experienced hobbyists, because each combat patrol is 500 points, right? So 9 of them is 4,500 points. Yes, you know what, I do have 4,500 points unpainted, but it's taken me like a decade to collect that much. God, I hate these Games Workshop pops, right? The never-ending drama of the paint gets stuck in the rim. What I wouldn't give for these paints to just be in dropper bottles. Fucking hate these pots, man. Like, this one won't close at the moment, I guess, because just today apparently I put too much gunk into the seal here. Ugh. Will it close now? No, it will not close. Do you ever get that? They just don't close. Ugh. I'll maybe take that one downstairs and try and do something with it after the stream ends. Yeah, okay, it's going to take one more stream then to get these guys ready for their washes. So I think I've done 2 thin coats everywhere now. Maybe just a couple of touch-ups here and there. But you know, as I look at this guide, I see more things. I will always see more things that need painted. Alright, let me ask the last couple of questions in chat and then I'm going to take off. The Terminator Captain issue 1 is $2.99 for 1 Terminator. You can make a squad for $15. And how much is a squad of Terminators these days? Like, I'm assuming a lot more than $15. At least 35? I mean, if you just... I actually have a shitload of Terminators, but I guess if you just need a bunch of Terminators, go to your local newsagent, pick up as many of the issue 1s as you can for $2.99. There's your Terminator squad for like Marius says, that's like crazy cheap. I know in the last magazine, I think the issue 1 model was one of the Blade Guard. I think it was like a Blade Guard veterans sergeant. I think it might have been the Blade Guard that had the Neo Volkite pistol. And I picked up a bunch of those Blade Guard, like 3 or 4 of them, because you're right, they're $2.99 a pop, so you're getting a squad of Blade Guard for £9. A little bit of conversion work, sure, but £9 for a squad of Blade Guard. I'm sure a squad of Blade Guard's at least 25, 30. I just need a little bit of it to catch, so I can pull the rest of it out with my fingers. It just doesn't want to come out, does it? It's certainly caked in there. Get out! It's like the bit in Terminator, get out! Stupid paint. Or stupid crusted paint. Right, this is going to close now. Please close now. I have green paint everywhere by the end of this. No, still won't close.
Ah! 37.50. Wow. Yeah, so you can get your Terminators for less than half price. Quite a bit less than half price, actually. Whoever designed these paint pots needs to be shot. Take them outside and shoot them. They are rubbish. There we go. Look at that. Only took 10 fucking minutes. Ah, thought I was going to get to pull the whole bit out. No. There we go. That only took forever. Now it will shut. Happy days. Cut the lid off. Yeah, I know you can cut the lid off and pop them inside out, but I think you get paint everywhere, which I've managed to do anyway. So, Alright, the heavy intercessors will be finished, or will be getting washed next stream. I was going to say, what are the plans for this week? Yes, Wednesday night we're going to have a battle report. Hopefully, I think it's going to be Death Guard. So it'll be 7:30 Wednesday. Friday we'll have a new tactics video. It will not be the last part of the tier list, but there will be a new tactics video. The last part of tier list will come out sometime mid-January. And I think I'll paint probably Saturday night this week, so you'll probably see me next Saturday. And then I think Sunday next week will be the next army list show. So if you've got a list to submit, and I know I think I have 7 list submissions at the moment, so I think we've got basically armies for the next 2 shows. There will be a balance date slate in January as well, but yes, new content coming in, I guess, army list show next Sunday night, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. I think probably 8 o'clock might be the new start time for the army list show. So 8 o'clock on Sunday, I'll see you guys then. Have a great Sunday. If you're back to work like me tomorrow, enjoy your first day back. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a like on the stream if you've got 2 seconds to do that. I appreciate it. Alright, peace. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.